Let's make sure this thing is going. Are you recording? Make sure. Yeah, because I have the angle just right. All right. Okay, guys. You guys, let's stop working in Photoshop now. Let's get focused on our lesson. We'll go ahead and take over your screens. Let's make sure you have them up and you're following along.
Can you let me log in first?
I'm sorry?
Can you let me log in first?
Yeah, hurry. Okay, you did?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. All right, so this is my, I'm basically gonna, let me ask you a couple of questions. The other day I had you like kind of identify your favorite magazines, right? And I got kind of some interesting results. Some of you guys are like, oh, I don't read magazines, right? And then that had me thinking, nowadays, we consume news and information via our phone, right? But when I use the term magazines, I still meant like, like online publication or print, okay? It's still a magazine. So like most of the time, like if you like Sports Illustrated, you're probably looking at it digitally, right? So at any rate, some interesting results came through. I saw National Geographic was a common one, okay? People magazine, which is interesting, and I have some like some example or some sample information for you guys. But basically today, what I want to go over is how you can communicate with like your target market. All right, and we're going to understand some key terms and take it from there. So far we've worked on a couple of different projects. In the fall, you did the World Series of Innovation, right? And you had a problem. You had to kind of define a solution to address that problem. And then who are people that have this problem that you want to get your solution to? Does this make sense?
Yes.
Yes.
Cooper Hewitt, very much the same thing, right? But this time with Cooper Hewitt, you got you still have a problem. You had a big, gigantic global problem that you had to narrow down into a manageable, addressable problem, right? And then your design solution had to be nature-based. And we discovered that nature-based doesn't mean just creating something from nature, but also could mean observing things in nature and like trying to replicate that system that exists in nature. All right, so now we have a problem, we have some kind of solution defined, but then we still gotta reach whoever's gonna take advantage of the solution. All right, so enter in our lesson today, Supercharged Market Research. Okay, how you like the car? Okay. Anyways, so again, we've gone over this design thinking process, and this has gotten us familiar with who's going to be using our solution, right? We have to have engaged people to really be coming up with like a sensible design. So, we've defined our challenge, we've empathized. Well, you have to empathize with somebody, and that somebody are people who are affected by whatever the problem is, right? So we've kind of gone through this cycle. But now, when you get to the end of it, when it comes to launching, the launch piece is pretty apropos that they use the rocket. And then if you think about it, maybe it's a missile, and we want that missile to hit a target. Okay? So, and then, so again, we've started understanding our user in the design process, but we need to get to know them better and deeper to figure out how to reach them with our solution. Does this make sense, you guys?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, so enter market research. And the method we're going to be dealing with today is like, since this is, this is web and social media, right? We're learning Illustrator and Photoshop, and we carve out Mondays to kind of dedicate to business, right? And so we need to quickly figure out how to get to know our user better and not do extensive research. Okay, so what we have, and before we get into that, are some key terms that I wanted you to get familiar with. Primary market research. This is research that you conduct on your own to obtain data. All right. For instance, giving a survey, right? Observing somebody doing certain things, right? This is called like a field study. You also have what are called focus groups. All right. So these are where you yourself or your team conduct research to obtain the data. Another way is, this is secondary research, and that's to obtain data from somebody else's research effort. Okay? Now, target market, demographics, psychographics, geographics, buying patterns, all this stuff we'll look at in subsequent slides. But these are and the core of this lesson is secondary market research. Okay? We're going to leverage somebody else's work in obtaining information about our target audience. And the way we're going to do that is, by the way, guys, one problem I've seen in a lot of like target market statements, if you will, is, we're going to do it for everyone. All right, that's not a target. Okay, Apple they don't reach everybody on the globe, and they got the resources to do it. Right? They're worth, or have been, teetering around $1 trillion in terms of their market worth and how much cash they have in the bank. But everybody on the planet still doesn't have an iPhone. Yes?
Are they the company sending drones to provide Wi-Fi everywhere, or was that another company?
Facebook was one that was working on it.
Oh, yeah. Right.
But it's still, you can't reach everybody if everybody doesn't have a phone, right? So they have the resources, but they still haven't reached everyone on the planet. So they have a target market, or a set of target markets, right, for their products. Okay? So anyways, what we're going to do to supercharge our market research is use what are called media kits. And media kits are what each magazine creates to kind of promote to let people that would buy ad space know who their readers are, and knowing who those readers are help us to understand characteristics and qualities of the target market. So here's a snippet I pulled out of HGTV magazine that says, look at this, it says 84% of the readers have taken or plan to take actions based upon an ad in the magazine. That's pretty good, right? So think about the solution you have for your Cooper Hewitt project. You want people to take advantage or use that solution, right? Buy that solution. And so we gotta find them and communicate to those people with the problem that you're addressing with your solution. Okay? And again, a good way to do that is to leverage research, secondary research we can get out of what's called a magazine media kit. All right, so let's look at these terms. Demographics. That's age, income, gender, ethnicity information. And I'm using examples, not necessarily a definition, but this is what demographics are, okay? This type of information about people. Psychographics, attitudes, aspirations, and other psychological criteria. Then you have geographics. And think about this. We have locations. What are the characteristics of those locations? Climate, maybe elevation, population, right? Here in San Jose, this is a part of the Bay Area, which is like, we can consider a metropolis. There's like 10 million people or so in the Bay Area region, right? Who knows the population of San Jose?
1 million.
1 million, right? So this is the largest city in the Bay Area as far as population, and then also in terms of landmass. And we have different qualities and characteristics. We're in the evergreen area of San Jose, right? Which is located on what side of San Jose?
East side.
The east side, right? Okay. So these are some characteristics of our geographics. All right, then the last here, buying patterns. And this is all important, right, for us to consider when we're trying to communicate with the user of our solution. So buying patterns are like how, when, how much, and how frequently people maybe engage in whatever they're doing as far as buying their solution. All right, so we're going to use all this information that we collect from the media kits to develop what's called a persona. And a persona is where we personify like the characteristics of a market into an individual or a set of individuals. Okay, and we do this by kind of adding a picture of like, okay, what does this person look like? So we want to humanize who we're going to be trying to communicate our solution with. Does this make sense, you guys? So we're going to give them a picture, we're going to give them a name, we're going to kind of tell a little backstory about who they are and what they do and the kind of problems they encounter. All right. So right now, let me give you a couple of these example resources. And again, so the secret sauce is you come up with the name of the publication. Okay, in the Google search, you use the name of the publication and the term media kit, and you'll find a treasure trove of information that way. So I wanted to get our local paper, San Jose Mercury News. It's actually part of what's called the Bay Area News Group now, and for short, it's called BANG. How about that? And then another sample I have here is HGTV's media kit. What you'll notice is a lot of times when you get the search results, you'll have a website that has a lot of good information, and then you can also download a PDF which provides you with the data. So we'll look at a media kit website, look at a media kit, couple of document examples, just to show you how much information is in them that you can pull from to create these personas that will make use of your solution, okay, be it a product or service. And then I have this document from a company called Spreadfast, which is gives us all the 2018 social media demographics, how many users of like Facebook and what their age ranges and groups are, and gender and all that information. Okay, so let me switch screens over to this one here. This is the BANG, Bay Area News Group. And if you go over to that website, you'll see there's this Advertise With Us link that gets you into the BANG Insights, which is where you're going to find all this kind of online data about those things, demographics, psychographics, geographics. Okay? By the way, in the Butler locker is where I have these resources for you. So I have the Bay Area News Group PDF.